So if you take a look at this chart, you can see the condo benchmark prices have been coming down consistently this year. And if you go back a couple of years ago, that is during when the market was at peak in February, March of 2022, the prices have come down about 30% from the peak of 2022. And if you go further back to 2018, we can see the prices have gone back to 2018 level. So in today's video, we're going to deep dive into Toronto market, and I'm going to show you what exactly is happening so that you can make an informed decision. And if you get any value out of this content, please hit the like button, and also please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps the small channel like this to grow. And if you've got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with us by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. So first, I'm going to break down data for Toronto proper. That is this area that is south of Steeles to east of Peel region to west of Durham region. So this area I'm going to break down data, and then I'm going to go towards downtown Toronto, and I'm going to focus on CO1 and CO8 areas. CO1 is south of Bloor Street to east of Dufferin to west of DVP and south to the water. Okay, so first let's go back towards downtown Toronto proper data. So in whole of Toronto, there were, and out of these sales, there were 19 which were studios which were sold in the month of September. And then one bedrooms were 175, 1+10s were 251, and two bedrooms were highest. There were 285 condos which were two bedrooms which were sold in the month of September. And then 2+10s were 166, and three bedrooms were 133, and four bedrooms were less. There were 14. And I'm going to go towards downtown Toronto, and I'm going to show you similar data. So that is CO1 and CO8 area. That's where we're going to focus on. So this data is for CO1 and CO8 for the month of September of 2025. So in this month in September, highest amount of condos were sold were 1+10s, which were followed by two bedrooms, that is 77, and third highest was one bedroom, that was 75. One bedroom condos were sold in the month of September, and then 2+10s were sold 43, and followed by three bedrooms, and studios were only 16 studios which were sold in the month of September of 2025. So we can see studios are not selling as much. In fact, three bedrooms were more which were sold in the month of September as opposed to studios. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you data at what price point what condos were sold. So in whole of Toronto in the month of September, there were 1043 condos were sold, which I just shared, and the highest were sold were between the price point of 500 to 599. That is 276 condos were sold in that specific month, followed by 251 condos were sold under the price point of $500,000. So that's interesting to see. And then the third highest category is between the price point of 600 to 699. That in this category we start to find many two bedroom condos too. So that there were 201. And the fourth highest category is between the price point of $700 to $799,000. That was 137. And between the price point of $800,000 to $899, there were 71 condos which were sold. And beyond that price point, we start to see a low number. It's because it makes sense, because at this point buyers tend to buy freehold property, and that makes sense. And now I'm going to go towards downtown Toronto, and I'm going to show you the similar data. And under the price point of $500,000, we can see there were 81 condos which were sold in downtown Toronto. We were not seeing this for quite some time. We were not able to find many condos earlier under the price point of $500,000, but now we do. And I'm going to show you a couple of options which were sold in the month of September. And and within the price point of $500,000 to $600,000, there were 82 condos were sold. And the third highest category is between the price point of $600,000 to $699,000. 63 condos were sold in this price point. And between the price point of, let's say, 550 to 650, that's where we can see a good 1+10s with the square footage of 600 square feet. Those are selling the most, and that's what we can find between these two categories. And between the price point of 700 799, 46 condos were sold, and beyond that the number starts to decrease. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you good condos, or maybe in my opinion which were deals for the month of September. So let's check those out. So here I'm going to show you good buys or good deals for the month of September of 2025 which were sold under the price point of $500,000. So first is 333 Adelaide Street East, unit 311. This is located on the east side of the city and located in the King East area, where this exactly condo is located. It's a, I would say, good location and safe at the same time. It's vibrant. You've got good coffee shops and as well as good connectivity as well via streetcar. So this condo was sold for $485,000. It's a 1+10 with one bathroom, and maintenance fee is $493, and square footage is 668, which is pretty solid. I'll just show you a few pictures just for quick reference. That's the unit. It's a spacious unit, and considering the price point, I think it is pretty good. and it is a 1+10. I don't see a den in this one, but has a bedroom. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead, and in terms of parking, it says parking is included, but at the same time it says $175 a month. So I'm not too sure if it comes with parking. I think chances slim it did not come with a parking spot, and this was sold in September 23rd of 2025. And the second good option I'm gonna show you, which was sold in the month of September, was 230 King Street East, Unit 1220. This was, I think I did mention this listing, or did feature this listing in my other videos too, because I think this is a good building and the layout is pretty good. And this was listed for $519,000 and it was sold for $487. Pretty solid. One bed, one bath. Maintenance fees $538, which includes all the utilities, which is good. And if I show you the unit, so here's the layout. That's the living area here, and that's the layout. You got a nice kitchen, nice living area, and if I show you the bedroom, that's also not the biggest, but that's decent, and that's the bathroom. And it's in a good building. This building is located again in the east side of the city in King East. Good building and well managed building as well. I would highly vouch for this, and I think these two were good picks in the month of September of 2025. So now let's go back to the slides, and I'm going to show you condo occupancy analysis. So here we are. So here you can see condo occupancy analysis. So as of today in Toronto, there are 2,424 condos which are currently listed for sale. And out of those total condos, 594 are tenanted properties. Vacant properties are 1,086. So this goes to show tenanted properties, these are owned by investors. And most likely, we don't have the exact data for vacant properties, but most likely most owners don't leave their property vacant. So most likely this category is also investors. So more or less, let's say about 50 to 60% of condos which are currently listed, probably they are listed by investors. And then third category is owner occupied. That's 29% of the whole share. So that 709 condos are listed by owners which are trying to sell their condos, and 7 condos are which are owner and tenanted, where some section of the condo is being rented out. Okay, so that's the condo occupancy analysis for now, and I'm going to show you sold occupancy analysis for the month of September. In the month of September in downtown Toronto, there were 336 condos that were sold, and out of those, only 46 condos which were tenanted and which were sold, and vacant were 169. So this goes to show it is hard to sell tenanted properties. They're not selling as much, and vacant properties are selling more as opposed to tenanted property. That makes sense because not many buyers are able to buy, not many buyers are willing to buy a tenanted properties, or investors also, they don't want to assume the tenant. That's the reason. And then third category is owner occupied were 115. So majority of the 50% of the condos were vacant, and 34 condos which were sold were owner occupied, and there were none which were owner and tenanted. And that's the data. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how the condo prices have performed over the years. So here we are. So here you can see the benchmark prices of condos in downtown Toronto. And if you see, the prices have come down from the peak of when the market was at peak in February, March of 2022, and the prices have come down about by 27%. That's about like $200,000 drop. That's pretty significant. And I get this question asked a lot, that what do I think about the condo market going forward? How the prices are going to perform? So let's talk about that. So this excessive supply, and because of that, we will see downward pressure on prices in the near term, especially the brand new condos which are being built and being delivered to the market. That's at its peak right now. If I show you this chart, I go back to this chart. If you've seen my other videos, I go back to this chart a lot. So in 2025, we're going to see highest level of supply of brand new condos being built and being delivered to the market. And that is why in the near term, in this year and even next year too, we will see some downward pressure onto the condo prices, especially the condos which are in a brand new buildings. And the brand new buildings, typically we are seeing cookie cutter condos, so we'll see downward pressure for those. On the flip side, the condos which have good layouts in a decent building, it's not a cookie cutter condo, they are still holding value. I'm not saying they're still holding value since the peak of 2022, I'm not saying that, but they're doing fairly well as opposed to cookie cutter condos which are in a brand new building. Also, many variables come into play because real estate market is influenced by many variables such as interest rates. Interest rates have started coming down, but they have not helped the real estate market in a big way. That's primarily because of job market is not doing the best right now. There's a trade relation with the US is also not the best until unless the federal government iron out a deal with them. only then there will be some boost in consumer confidence. And overall economy is also not doing the greatest, so that's why the consumer confidence is low, and that's why we are seeing downward pressure onto the real estate market, and especially for condos too. And also I agree the mortgage renewals are also coming, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that as well. But over the long term, I think by the year of 2027 or 2028, I think beyond that the condo market will start making a comeback once we see low level of supply, because right now builders are not building, they're not building buildings, and by the year of 2028, I think chances are very very high there's going to be problem of supply, and then condo prices will start seeing some upward pressure. But we'll have to see how things pan out. And now in the last section of this video, I'm going to show you how the condo prices have performed year over year and month over month. So if you see year over year difference, so since September of last year, that is, we are looking over here, September of 2024 to September of 2025, the prices have come down about 7.5%. That's quite a decrease. And the number of sales have increased, more or less remained flat. They've increased by 4%. And the condos which are sitting on the market are longer in 2025 as opposed to September of 2024. And if I do a month over month comparison, the prices have come down about by 1%. The benchmark prices in August of 2025 we were looking at is $594,000, and they've come down to 587,000. But there are a few outliers, so I would say they've remained flat. Because there's less number of sales, so that's why chances of having outliers are higher. Number of sales have decreased month over month by about, like, say, 7%, and the property sitting on market is more or less the same month over month. So overall, if you're a buyer in today's market, you have that opportunity to throw in lowball offers and negotiate hard with the sellers, because this is the time you have been waiting for. So you have this opportunity, so I would use that opportunity to your advantage. And if you're a seller in this market, I would say, if your situation allows, I would not sell in today's market, but it depends from situation to situation, that when you bought it and for how much you bought it for. So these were my 2 cents, and I hope I was able to give you some value in today's video. And if you got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with me by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.